My dear students and learners, happy to welcome you for my 10th video of Engineering Thermodynamics Anna University course for third semester second year mechanical engineering students. And I am happy that today we will discuss about first law of thermodynamics. So in the last video I explained about what is first law of thermodynamics for a cyclic process. Okay, a cyclic process means initial and final states were identical, so that the summation of all the heat interactions or heat transferred into the system is exactly equal to cyclic integral of the work done, or the summation of all the works interaction during that particular cycle. Okay, cyclic integral of del q is equal to cyclic integral of del w. Okay, now we will move to the first law of thermodynamics for any process. Okay, so do you know the difference between process and cyclic process? Okay, so this is for non-cyclic process. Okay, for any process means, you know, two end states would be there, state 1 and state 2. Okay, so here this is state 1 of a system and this is the final state of the system, so it constitute a process. Here heat transfer also takes place and work transfer also takes place, right? You are giving heat as an input and you are taking work as an output. Okay, here the difference between the heat transferred into the system and work transfer from the system will be equal to the change in energy. Okay, if it is a cyclic process, you can tell that cyclic integral of del q is equal to cyclic integral of del w. Okay, but here when you are heating 1 kg of ice, okay, initially the molecular strength of the molecular, or the energy of the molecular, or the internal energy U of the molecules would be different than after they got heated by the input of the heat energy, right? There would be the difference between the internal molecular energy between the states before and after the heat energy supplementary, right? Okay, this supplementation of heat energy changing the level of, or molecular level of molecular energy is changed by the heat energy. So all the heat whatever we are supplying into the system could not be converted into work. Instead, some heat energy is utilized for increasing the internal energy of the system once after all the molecules got enriched with the heat energy, and then only they will start to work, right? Once they got the energized, and then only they could able to do something whatever we want to get extraction from it, right? Okay, so this change in energy of the molecular internal energy change, molecular change is called change in internal energy. So q is equal to W plus del E, change in energy. Okay, so change in energy is nothing but Q minus W. All the heat which we are supplying to the system could not be converted to work. Some of the heat energy is utilized for bringing the rising the internal energy of the system. Okay, so here you can see this is the system and it is the site is surrounded by the surroundings, boundary is there. Here internal energy of the system, whatever the heat is supplemented to the system and work is extracted by the system. Okay, in between this Q is not equalized with work, instead it is separated or distributed as first it is utilized for increasing the internal energy, and then only further conversion of work is takes place. Okay, now same thing you can able to see here. Food energy, whatever it given to your body, is converted to first it is it is converted to increase the temperature of our body. Okay, and we are doing some of the work by the nutrition received or converted or transferred into our body, and the remaining energy is stored as fat for further utilization. Okay, that is the versions of this food energy was distributed or converted in many ways, like, okay, so here you can able to see that food is not fully converted to work. Okay, so here energy input, heat input, energy conversion, any device which is used to convert one form of energy to another form of energy, what happens is energy input, when it was given to this device, that converts that energy input into useful energy output, as well energy dissipated to the surroundings. So here mathematically we can represent the del E, change in energy, change in internal energy, or all sort of energies, is equal to heat minus that is del Q minus del W, del Q minus del W. Okay, this is first law of thermodynamics for any process. Okay, here again you can prove that this change in energy is equal to del Q minus del W. Okay, so here if you write, if you want to differentiate and find out the exact value, you can integrate from 1 to 2 state what is del Q minus W. So for a closed system, if there is no kinetic energy, and if you are assuming that there is no change in kinetic energy and potential energy, this E can be replaced by U, so that du, change in energy, is change in internal energy, is equal to change in internal energy U2 minus U1, is also could be written as del Q minus del W. Okay, what are the corollaries of first law? Means corollaries means you know active voice and passive voice in English grammar, right? Okay. So Rama killed Ravana. This can be written as Ravana was killed by Rama. Okay, so you just changed the sentence formation, the total the meaning remains same, but you are expressing in a different way. Like that, corollary means same way you are expressing in a different way. That law is law where represented or expressed in different ways, so that exactly new concept could be arrived, or new result or outcome could be arrived. Okay, so this first corollary one related to which can be applied for the process. Okay, for any process, we studied that del E is equal to del Q minus del W. Okay, so from this we can able to learn another one more understanding is, there exists a property of a closed system in such a way that its value during any change of state is given by the difference between heat supplied and the work done. You can also tell like this, no, there is a property remains in the system. Okay, and this is the second corollary is regarding the first law of thermodynamics for cyclic process. here both heat and work interactions are zero means there is no heat and work interactions. Cyclic integral of del Q is equal to 0, cyclic integral of del W is equal to 0 for an isolated system. I told you isolated system means initial, in the first video I told about the third kind of system, isolated system. There is no any energy interactions, mass interactions like that. So if both are 0 means then dE will also become 0. So dE if is equal to 0 means that meant for E equal to constant. Okay, constant differentiation of any constant will become 0, right? Okay, so this indicates that energy of the universe of or energy of any isolated system is remains same. Corollary 3 is for the first law. This is also called as perpetual motion machine of first kind, in which PM1 meant for perpetual motion machine of first kind is an imaginary device which supplies continuous work without absorbing any energy from surroundings or any other forms. I told you, no, could you able to create any new things without using any resources from this world? You should not take even a piece of paper or even a small particle of soil, but you should get some output or you should create something. If it is possible means then this perpetual motion machine of first kind is also possible. Okay, so this is the machine which violates the first law. Okay, this is an imaginary device which supplies continuous work without absorbing any energy from the surroundings. If there is no del Q absorption, there will not be del W extraction. Okay. So here from this corollary 1 we can able to understand that internal energy is a property of the system which is existing inside the system. Okay, energy associated with the molecular motions present in the system, and it can be stored in the molecules, and whenever you are supplying the heat, the molecules are agitated and they are started to migrate from its place. Okay, and in an ideal case, as you know very well, no molecular forces of attraction or repulsion, and so that of course this internal energy is the function of temperature only, and it is also named as intrinsic energy or microscopic energy. And for a closed system, the energy dE can be directly replaced by du, since for the closed system we are not taking into account of any other kinetic energies and potential energy, nothing is considered, means then we can easily replace this dE by du. So du is also equal to del Q minus del W, and again one more equation you can arrive is this du, change in internal energy, is also nothing but C dt. C here is CV, mCV. Capital C meant for m into small cv. Already I showed that equation to you in the last video. It is mass of the substance into specific heat at constant volume process, Cv. mCv dt meant for Tu, and mCp dt meant for dH, change in enthalpy. This is change in internal energy. Internal energy means specific internal energy means by for unit mass. Here this is the revision or the recall of ideal gas laws. Boyle's law, Charles' law, Galucka's law tells that PV equal to constant, V by T equal to constant, P by T equal to constant when temperature, pressure and volume were maintained constantly respectively. Okay, try to recall this laws. Okay, let me continue in the next video. Thank you for patient listening. Meet you in next video. This is Dr. Suja. Thank you.